Hello, this is Alison, and in today's video I'd like to show you how to do the split negative technique. This is a card that we did at my Big Shot Club this month. We used the stamp from Take It to Heart, which is from the Occasions mini catalog. It's the little girl and boy on a bike. We did the same card, only in different colors, at my Techniques Club a couple of weeks earlier because it was closer to Valentine's Day, and so this made a perfect Valentine's card. Split negative means that you take an image. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, it can be any image, and you do half of it in one color embossed and the other half in another color embossed. The embossing powders match the color scheme of your card. So let me show you how to do that. The first thing you want to do is to stamp the image twice. In this case, I've stamped it on a black piece of cardstock using white embossing powder, and on a white piece of cardstock using black embossing powder. You do need to stamp the image twice, and you need to choose the color of the embossing powders need to match the color of the cardstocks that you're using. The next thing you want to do is you want to cut this image in half. So I'm going to bring in my cutter here, and I'm going to line up the center of my heart with my cutting blade here. Just going to cut that in half, and the same with the other piece. It doesn't have to be perfect, you do want to try your best to get it down the center of the image. So now I've ended up with the black and the white. One tip I forgot to mention earlier, when you go to do this technique, I find it easier if I cut the piece of cardstock that I'm embossing on to be the same size as the block. So either the acrylic block in this case or the wood block, because then it's very simple to line it up, and so it's in the center of your project. So here's the piece of cardstock, and you can see that it matches my acrylic block. The next thing you want to do is take a scrap piece of cardstock, and we want to attach it so we've got a black side and a white side. So I've got my white half and my black half, and then I'll also have a second image that I can use on another project later. Take my glue stick. I find the glue stick works best for this, just because I can move it around a little bit better. So I'm going to just adhere my white half, and then I've got my black half. When I'm putting this on my little scrap here, I'm not worried about lining up the cardstock. I'm worried about lining up the image. So I'm going to move this so that my heart, the tip of my heart and the top of my heart match up, even though the cardstock does not match up. I'm not concerned about that. The next thing I'm going to do is cut this out with one of our heart framelits. This is from the framelit collection. I'm going to cut that out with the Big Shot. So let me show you how to do that. Bring my Big Shot in. I'm going to keep my multi-purpose plate closed. I'm going to take my clear cutting pad, put it on the bottom, take my cardstock that I've glued together here, my little image, and with my my framelit facing down on my project, framing the image, I'm going to put my clear plate on top. I'm going to run that through my Big Shot. Move all this for you so you can see. And I remove my cut image. I've got my little heart lined up. The next thing I did, I took the larger heart and I cut out two pieces, one in white and one in black cardstock, because those are the colors we're using. And then I took those pieces and using my cutter, just like I did earlier, I cut them in half because I want it to be half white and half black. So I'm going to bring back in my image, and you can see that I want my white half of my heart to be backed on the black piece, and I want my black part of that image to be lined up with my white. And in the earlier part of this video, I showed you how you ended up with two pieces, and you would mount the other two pieces the opposite to this. So again, I think the glue stick works the best for me because it allows me to manipulate my image around. I'm going to take that and line it up, and I just put this down. In this case, I do want my hearts to line up. Okay, so then I end up with this image. And here's the opposite piece. You get two out of each project. And then I'll just bring back in the card so you can see the other elements here. So I have mounted this. I've used dimensionals and mounted it so it's raised up a bit. I've got our nice little scalloped ribbon here. This piece of cardstock's been run through the Big Shot with the polka dot embossing folder. And then I've used the heart punch to just punch the edge there. And then this stamp is called En Français, and it's a big background stamp, and I've embossed it in white on the black, and that's completed the card. So I hope you've enjoyed this technique, and I hope you'll give split negative a try. Thanks so much, and happy stamping.